We're going to be talking about FBC Firebreak today and the forthcoming updates because I really like this game. I know I'm in a minority, well, supposedly, because there's been a lot of backlash, I guess. It's very different to what they normally do. They've gone out of their third-person action RPGs to this first-person co-op online shooter thing, and everyone's a bit like, what is this? And so it was kind of confusing, but I really like it. But like so many games that come out, so many flaws. And so they've been correcting it, they've been patching it, they've been doing a lot of stuff. There's a really cool little community that are really in love with this already. I'm in that niche. I really enjoyed it, and I kind of liked the mysticism of figuring things out, but it does need some tidying up. And so we're going to be talking about the latest update from, or forthcoming update, should I say, from the developers. They released last week some notes on the stuff that's coming in late September, the first major update, because we've had patches, but this is going to be the first major update in terms of content changes and shifts in the game. And so let's take a look at the notes and the things that they said they're going to happen. And they've been listening to our voices, to my voice, to the people on the FBC Firebreak Discord, and all the stuff we've been telling them over recent weeks. The biggest issue that they've had is people understanding the game. I mean, anyone who's picked it up, that first hour or so is an absolute killer. And as they say it themselves, we've seen many players come into the game and leave within the first hour. And that's because our first hour can be frustrating. You feel ineffective and confused as to what to do. This needs to be improved. I know it. You know it if you've played it. I'm a big Remedy fan. I love the universe. I loved Control. I love that world. Going to the old house again and seeing all of that and just like wreaking havoc, it's been fantastic, and figuring out the mechanics and the things that you can do has been really fun for me. But I understand, I knowing all of that, going into it was a bit like, oh, what am I doing now? What are we meant to be doing? Who am I? Where's the story? Is there a lore? Like, I'm just straight into a mission screen and I know nothing about why I'm here or what I'm up to, especially if I'm a new player. Like, what on earth is going on? So they've already added some stuff that they have been doing on YouTube, because bizarrely they were doing YouTube videos with some dolls on about the different mission types. They've already dropped one of those into the intro of the game. So if you load it up now and have never played it before, you'll watch an intro video that was not there when I started playing. So they have taken already some tweaks, but they, as they say here, part of onboarding is understanding the world and your place in it. And so they want to greatly improve that. And so no matter what you've played before, everyone playing should know where they are, who they are, and what they are trying to achieve as members of Firebreak. So they've already done some narrative onboarding by adding that video we mentioned, and now they'll continue down that path in the fall. That's a big focus for them, because no matter how good the game is for its hardcore group, if there's no new players being sucked in, it's dead in the water. I mean, it might be too late anyway, according to some, but it needs to be welcoming to new players, or it doesn't matter how hardcore you are, guys, it's just not going to work. All right, so that's a massive thing. They want to improve the understanding of the world. They want to just do a better job of teaching you the core mechanics as you come in, and maybe add, according to this, playable tutorial as well. We want to improve the pop-up tips on top of that, and basically just make the whole game more welcoming, which I think is a big must. It's a big must-do if the game is going to continue and have any kind of longevity to it. Gunplay. Now, this is an interesting one, because guns are not really guns are important. It's not the be-all and end-all of this game. It's not what they want the focus to be on necessarily. It's not a straight shooter, but it is a big factor. And so it says here, we have from the outset wanted to get a good balance between pure, good old-fashioned first-person shooter gunplay and using each of the kit's tools and the environment, like water sprinklers, fire, for example, like realizing that if you're on fire, you can shoot a sprinkler in the ceiling and put out the fire on you and all that kind of stuff. If you don't have a water kit, that's awesome. But again, they need the gunplay to feel good. And so they say they don't plan to become a game with 100 guns, because that's not the right focus, but they do think it's important to deliver on variety. They're going to add 3 new heavy guns to round out the arsenal. And currently they feel the upgrades can make the guns feel weak early on, and they want them to feel more powerful from the start and give you ways to tweak that moving forward rather than make them feel not cool. So to bring in these new guns, they also plan to drop all generic upgrades from equipment, guns, and tools, and start players with a playerful and powerful version of everything a Firebreak needs from the beginning. So they want it to feel cooler to pick up a gun and go straight into combat from the off, rather than feel a bit meek and a bit weak and helpless. You are going into the front line. You should be ready to go. They're going to replace the generic upgrades. They're going to develop a mod system that lets you tweak how you want your guns to work and the ways in which they become more powerful over time. And so they're going to share more about that before September. New ways to play. Now, some of us, obviously, we're doing the same loops at the moment. We're doing the same missions. There's only a few, and it's fine. It's been good because for me, there's so much chaos goes on in each session that it can be, and your crew is what you make of it, and the fun you bring to it is a big part of these games, I think. And it's like a sandbox almost that you can just go crazy in. But they want to make big changes to the way you access jobs and to the content of the jobs themselves, giving you more ways to play and a more surprising and exciting way of getting there. Letting you choose how long you want to play remains important, because I do love the fact that they have options of 3 different lengths of level. So if I've only got 10 minutes, then I can jump on for a third of a level, and that's cool. But if I've got an extended period, then I can go for it. That still needs to be a focus. But they want the game to show you the fun rather than having you hunt for it. That's the key phrase they've used here. Show you the fun rather than ask you to hunt for it. So to accomplish this, they're replacing the clearance and corruption levels with pre-made, supposedly exciting variations of job experiences that can still be short or long. Yeah, and they can still be filled with corrupted items, but also a whole lot more. Apparently, they're weeding out the least fun experiences. Now, I'm really curious what you guys think of the least fun experiences, because everyone probably likes some things more than others, but I'm sure they have the stats to show which ones people play the least or log out of quickest. And like, nah, I don't want that. That's not good. I'm going to drop on something else. And they're going to focus on the best ones, presumably the most popular, and add brand new modes with plans for adding even more in the future. They're also really re-evaluating matchmaking flow, making it clearer, and segmenting player pools more effectively to ensure more and better matches. Apparently, they're calling this feature the Crisis Board. This is not just repackaging our current jobs, but fundamentally changing how you experience FBC Firebreak, which is intriguing. More things to do is a big caveat here. So when we think about content variety, they've said here, right, we're looking at other randomizations beyond objectives. So changing objectives, but also randomizing things, including the placement of key items like showers, ammo stations, suspension lines, and more. They're looking at ways to mix up each encounter and make it a little bit more exciting each time, because you don't know what you're going into, because you are the front line. You don't know what to expect. You're the FBC Firebreak team. You're going in, and it could be different each time you go. They're bringing a new job. The first major update will bring a brand new job into Firebreak, requiring you to identify and eliminate and hopefully not eat strains of mold, apparently, using something that they are internally calling the sushi train, which I think sounds awesome. But we're going to get more on that later, apparently. And apparently they're bringing a new handcrafted level, 3 zones, new status effect, 2 more enemies to deal with, and all the rest that we've come to expect. So that is pretty awesome. I am excited about that. And so it's quite clear from all of these things, they're pushing a lot of improvements and changes into the game. This will be their first major update since release. There has been a variety of patches and updates, but this is going to be their biggest update since launch. Some of these ideas are apparently improvements that they weren't able to add before launch, which seems typical in the modern age of gaming. Like, you could have put some of this in before, but you didn't, or you had to get it out, presumably. But why not put some of this stuff in if you were thinking about it? I don't know. But these were all things coming that were decided on and developed based on what they've heard from us, from the people playing the game, and they've seen from us looking at the data, which hopefully bodes well. We shall see. So far, they've been pretty proactive, so I'm excited. And no, it's not been everyone's cup of tea. There's been an interesting response across the internet, as there always is. A lot of mediocre reviews, but I think the core engine is awesome. The world is awesome. Like, the mechanics of this game are fantastic. And I love a good co-op shooter. I love a good co-op game, team play, and all of that stuff. So I'm really excited to see where they go from here. And I've got a lot of love for this studio, and I really hope that they can just improve the opening segments and make it more welcoming, because there's so much, I feel like there's a lot of potential in this game. If they could just improve the flow and the onboarding and explain a bit more about the world and the lore to people coming in who definitely didn't play Control. And even if you did, to be honest, that's a few years old now. I know there's DLCs, but a lot of people have forgotten. No offense, guys, but I can't remember sometimes what I did yesterday. And the lore of that house, there's a lot. It's confusing. And so even if you did play it, and the World of Remedy stuff in general, like Alan Wake and everything else, there is still a lot of stuff there. I can't remember it all. I struggle to remember what I had for dinner yesterday. So I'm going to struggle with all of that. And so just remember that. Remember that basically I am empty-headed, and I need you to just remind me occasionally of like, this is what's happening now. This is who you are. These are who the people are giving me the missions. This is what we have to do to save the world. All that stuff. All that stuff is great. Anyway, that's enough from me. I've been waffling now. I'm really excited for this update. If any of you guys love FBC Firebreak, then I hope you are excited for this too. And even if you didn't, and you're still here for some reason, I hope you'll give it a try, especially when the update comes, because it'll hopefully be much smoother then. You can check me out on the Saved by Gaming podcast. Every couple of weeks, speak to people about the power of positive gaming and the way that community can bring so much to us. So check us out there, and we'll be back for more in the future. Take care, guys. Have fun.